welcome to Newsround, the programme where we bring you all the latest news and views about aerospace, aviation and defence across the emerging markets of Africa, Arabia and South Asia. I'm Marcelle Nethersole.
And I'm Mark Pilling. In this programme we feature plans in South Africa at Aerosud to develop an electric cargo aircraft. We have an update from Adel Ali, the Chief Executive of Air Arabia, on his plans to establish more joint venture airlines. And we hear from Chloe Greenbank about expansion plans at Ras Al Khaimah Airport. All to come after this short break, followed by the news headlines from Ella.
Welcome back, and here is this week's industry news from the Middle East, Africa and South Asia. Boeing's lawyers have filed a joint court motion with the lawyers for the families of 157 people who died in the 737 MAX crash in Ethiopia. Boeing has accepted sole liability for the fatal accident and admitted that it produced an aircraft that had an unsafe condition that was the proximate cause of the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 accident. Boeing agreed that the pilots of the Flight 302 were also not at fault and have also exonerated 2 MAX suppliers. During the Dubai Air Show last week, Captain Ibrahim Koshi, Chief Executive of Saudi Arabian Airlines, told Show Business magazine that the flag carrier is preparing a major wide-body aircraft order next year, as it revises its fleet plan to match traffic and product expectations with the Kingdom's ambitious Vision 2030 strategy. And it is also studying the launch of a premium economy class, which would be a first for Saudia. UK low-cost long-haul startup Flypop, which is focused on serving the Indian and South Asian communities living in the UK, has partnered with Hi-Fly Airline to commence its zero-LOPA cargo operations. Hi-Fly is the largest wide-body aircraft wet lease specialist in the world, operating a large fleet of Airbus A320, A330 and A340. Flypop believes the most effective way to start flying operations is with cargo, until the frequency cap on UK-India flights is increased. ATR has finalised the sale of 3 ATR 72-600 aircraft to Central African airline Afrojet, who will use the aircraft to replace part of its ATR 72-500 fleet. Afrojet said the deal is further proof of ATR's effectiveness and growing regional routes thanks to its cost-effective operations. Afrojet initially started with pre-owned ATR aircraft and then moved on to a leased ATR 72-600 in 2020. Russian helicopters and the Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Republic of Bangladesh have signed a contract for the delivery of 2 Mi-171A2 heavy multi-purpose helicopters. Royal Jordanian has marked Jordan's centennial by placing the old Alia livery on one of its Airbus 321 aircraft. The livery soared the skies for the very first time when the airline was established in 1963, until it changed its name and logo to Royal Jordanian in 1986. And finally, Rolls-Royce's Spirit of Innovation aircraft last week achieved a new world speed and climb performance records for an all-electric flight. During its record-breaking runs, the aircraft clocked up a maximum speed of 623 kilometres an hour, which Rolls-Royce believes makes the Spirit of Innovation the world's fastest all-electric vehicle.
Thank you, Ella. As ever, the topic of sustainability is a frequent one in our news roundups, and stories about electric aircraft are never far away, as Alan has discovered in South Africa.
Yes, Mark, it's an electric aircraft and it's hit a milestone that involves Africa. South African aerospace manufacturer Aerosud Aviation is set to play a part in the development and manufacturing of a green technology fully electric vertical takeoff and landing cargo aircraft. An MOU was signed last week by Samed Aerospace, based at Cranfield in the UK, with the South African company to develop the cargo aircraft through to certification and full manufacturing production. Samed is now one of the top 10 eVTOL companies in the world, and there's been a growing interest in its cargo aircraft from a number of industry sectors that need to transit high-value cargo. These include oil and gas corporations, gemstone mining, these sort of companies, medical logistics and emergency response companies. CEO and founder Syed Mohsini said it will also be used to deliver humanitarian critical cargo of food, medicine and equipment to often remote regions of the world, with underdeveloped or damaged local infrastructure. The Starling Cargo aircraft will be remotely piloted with autopilot capability. It will have a cruising speed of 83 knots, a flight ceiling of 10,000 feet, and a range of up to 117 nautical miles. The electrical vertical takeoff and landing aircraft will enable flexible point-to-point air cargo of up to 60 kilograms payload initially. It's perfect for operations in Africa, and it's great to see an African company, albeit one with a significant Tier 1 manufacturing support in the past, to be involved in this stage. Now, I've visited SAMAD before at Cranfield, and they've been testing all sorts of configurations for the Starling aircraft and are expecting to deliver platforms that would challenge business aircraft and helicopters.
We see a lot of these sorts of projects, Alan, but will it happen?
Well, I think so. It's been backed by investors, and SAMAD has worked in partnership with governments, aviation regulators and specialist suppliers. Where I do have a doubt is whether their optimism of a certification and entry into service by this time next year is really doable. Their strategy of getting a cargo version out first rather than a passenger one does make it easier for sure.
Air Arabia has already got joint venture airlines in Egypt and in Morocco, and we caught up with Chief Executive Adel Ali at the Arab Air Carriers Organisation annual meeting in Doha the other day, and he brought us up to speed with the low-cost airline's latest projects in Armenia and Pakistan.
Our job is connecting people and stimulating market where we see the potential. And while Air Arabia works extremely well in the Arab world, it doesn't have to be Air Arabia as long as the business model remains intact. So we looked at the opportunity in Armenia first. We felt that from a geographical location, from a potential business, the country is moving in a positive direction, particularly with the tourism and inbound promotion of tourists. So we had discussion with our partner who there, and we felt there was a necessary to set up a good, solid, nice, an Armenian national airline.
Adel, what about your plans in Pakistan to form Fly Jinnah with the huge Laxam Group? How are those going?
Again, we were approached by a very long-standing good business family in a company in Pakistan, and when we looked at it, 200 plus million people live in the country, a lot of domestic opportunities and international. So we studied the case very carefully, and Pakistan has got few airlines, but they wanted an airline with a track record of low-cost technical support. Again, we joined the joint venture, and both are probably running at the same time, and we hope that in Q2 2022, both will be flying.
Now from Doha to Ras Al Khaimah, where Chloe Greenbank has been finding out about some important airport development plans.
Hi Mark. So last week's airshow certainly saw some exciting developments for Ras Al Khaimah Airport, which enjoyed a hat-trick of signings during the event. As a gateway to an emerging market, Ras Al Khaimah has seen around 380,000 passengers passing through its doors so far in 2021. However, the airport is now forecasting that passenger numbers will hit 2 million annually by 2030, with plans also afoot to grow its existing cargo activities. In line with the airport's plans to expand and enhance its operations, last week it appointed French design and engineering consultancy Aegis to develop and modernise its existing terminal, as well as to come up with a concept design for a brand new terminal to better accommodate that passenger growth. The airport also reinforced its commitment to building connectivity, signing an agreement with Gulf Air, which builds on an MOU signed earlier in the year. This enhanced agreement will see the Gulf carrier operating 2 weekly flights between Ras Al Khaimah and Bahrain. It will also provide passengers travelling from the region with access to Gulf Air's wider network. Completing the trio of signings was Serco Middle East being awarded a 5-year contract starting in February 2022 to provide air traffic services including aerodrome control and approach control at Ras Al Khaimah. In addition to maintaining an orderly flow of air traffic both on the ground and in the air, Serco will also support the airport in complying with the UAE's General Civil Aviation Authority regulations. Inaugurated in 1976, the airport last underwent a major upgrade in 2007, so these latest expansion and modernisation plans are welcome developments and follow the appointment of Athanasios Titonis as the airport's new CEO in September. I'm certainly looking forward to following the airport's progress and seeing just how it evolves in the coming years and months as a result of these latest signings.
Thank you, Chloe. And last, but by no means least, Times Aerospace TV and our sister publication Show Business were out in force at last week's Dubai Air Show with 4 of our award-winning daily newspapers and daily video programmes. It was a remarkable return to face-to-face business, with strong visitor numbers and, importantly, the attendance of many senior executives from both the civil and defence sectors. So for the lowdown on a show full of highlights, go to www.timesaerospace.aero. And that's it from Marcella, Alan, Chloe and me until the next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
How do we achieve ultimate defense interoperability? Inspired by Vision 2030, we are introducing the first of its kind, the World Defense Show. Integrating land, air, sea, satellite, and security.